There we go. Good morning and welcome to Canada Reads American Style, the last day of our Canada Reads 2026 discussion. And we have an amazingly super special guest with us today, the host of Canada Reads, Ali Hassan. Welcome, Ali.
Welcome to you. I'm very happy to be part of sometimes we can't make this happen the week of. This is great.
Yeah, yeah. And I know it's like putting a little pin in it perfectly. So I'm
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
excited. I even forgot to welcome Rebecca. Hello, Rebecca.
Good morning, everybody. So excited. I'm happy to be a part of this. And Allie, thank you
Yeah.
so much because every year you join us and we cannot thank you enough. We love chatting with you at the end of the competition.
It's my pleasure. If I could chat with everybody who's interested in Canada Reads this way, I would. But I don't know. Somehow you've snuck your way into some special status years ago.
Yay.
Aw.
So we continue.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah.
All right.
Okay, let's start off. Ali, this was the 25th anniversary of Canada Reads. And I'll be honest, I was expecting something like a little, like
I
I
should have been
wanted a
wearing a
little
party hat of
something,
some. Yeah.
party hat, a montage, a cake brought out. So I was a little sad that we didn't get that. Not to start on a bummer note, because the rest of the week we like, we always enjoy it. But why did we not get that celebration?
I think the math is weird. It's the
Mm.
25th anniversary, but it's actually not the 25th year, or it's not the 25th Canada Reads. We haven't done 25 of them. It's just a weird math
Oh,
because some
yeah.
people have challenged and then I've heard my producer say, well, actually, technically, it's not this, it's this. So I don't think we are celebrating 25 actual years of Canada Reads, but
Okay.
it's 25 years since it's some weird math thing. I'm going to get back to you on
Okay.
that so you have a
Okay.
clarification on that. But you're right, 25 years in any other CBC
Yes.
program and any other program anywhere, you would really be recognizing that in some significant way. I wanted
Yeah.
fireworks. I wanted a little something.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Party
So maybe
whistle.
next year. Maybe next year.
Might be next year where the math all lines up. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
I would like that. That would be fun. All right. Well, I want to ask a question that dawned on me as when the show opened, and I think the stage looks really dramatic if you're watching it live on YouTube and everything. But I wondered if CBC will ever bring back the live audience. You've hosted both styles, and I wondered what impact, if any, does the live audience have on the Defender? And it, I mean, I know a lot of people wanted to come back, but since COVID, it hasn't. So I'm just wondering what the rationale is there, maybe.
I mean, it was extra work, certainly, wrangling the crowd, having them ready at a certain point, bringing them in. I enjoy working to a crowd. I'm a stand-up comedian. The crowd, I missed it for a couple of years. I've now become comfortable in this. Nobody's ever said this to me, but I do start wondering, you sort of can't control what that crowd does. It's a live show. And now that they're gone, you start thinking like, wow, what if somebody just stood up and said, no, you cannot use those words. And we're like, what? Like that, they could do that. Like that could have
Yeah.
happened. It never did. It's almost like we lived in a saner time or a more respectful time. And now, who knows? And I'm not saying they would have to even be a crazy person. I'm saying it could also be somebody who quietly lifts a sign,
Oh,
no more bombs or something like that. And all of a sudden, the show is no longer about the guests.
Mm.
And, this is what I'm imagining. Again, this is not what's been said. But when I did ask if we'll ever get the audience back, the suggestion was like, I don't think so. It was great while it lasted, but I think it really centers people in the room. It is hard not to be hyper aware when you can see the people all around you. And
oh,
so
okay.
I think also there it asks another level of something from people to have to be you're working the TVs, you're also considerate of the people in the room and all that. So I think it's just become a slightly more relaxed environment. As it is, it's hard to forget
Yeah.
about the fact that there's cameras there and all the rest of it, right?
Yeah.
And I keep
Yeah.
reminding people by talking to an audience. But I think, yeah, probably I would say gone for good. And I missed it for a few years and now I'm comfortable with it. I think that's probably the right move.
Yeah. Well, Shauna and I, who was my original co-host, Shauna, she and I had tickets to go the year that it got canceled with the live audience, and
I
we were so
remember.
excited. We had our hotel and everything. We were so excited, and then
Oh
we missed our
gosh.
opportunity to be there
Yeah.
live, which people talked about often about how much they enjoyed that. But no, it totally makes sense, and I
Yeah.
understand that. So I'll let it go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um,
Oh, that's it's the one that never was, right? It's the one that got away for you. It'll always have a little, you
Yep,
know, a little, what do you want, a little ounce of regret in your mind, no matter what. So I fully understand that it's hard to let go, but
absolutely.
I'm here to tell you, you might have to. You might
Yeah.
have to. Yeah.
All right.
and
My next. Oh, go ahead, Tara.
oh, I was going to say, and if we'd had the live audience, we may not have gotten like Steve's hockey glove reveal.
Right.
If we'd had the live audience,
They see him coming in with it.
that
Exactly.
moment would not
Exactly.
have happened. So,
Yeah.
That is going to be one of my top in my top three of Canada Ree's memories forever. I swear to God, when he like that was brilliant, absolutely
That was
yeah.
brilliant.
great. That was great.
Okay, my next question is more about you because you are an amazing host, and I know you hear it from everybody, and you especially hear it from us. But my question is, how like it not everybody is a good host. We've seen millions of opportunities of people with that are not good hosts. But what is it? How did you become a really good host? And don't be self-deprecating there, or don't be humble because you're a great host. But like, is it because of your stand-up comedy? What created what opportunity gave you this to is it naturally born in you? What is it?
I would say, and I thank you very much for those compliments. I would say there is no way to prepare for Canada Reads as a host other than doing Canada Reads. And if you go
Um,
back to my first year of Canada Reads, you will see somebody who did not really know what they were doing. That was pretty clear. Because it's just to pull back the curtain a little bit, I do have someone in my ear reminding me about timing, reminding me about, like, okay, let's go to the next debate round because we work to a hard clock. So you have a hard clock, you have five people in front of you, you have a screen, you have an ear. If somebody's going to tell me something longer, they just say the word screen. I have to look at the screen, time, floor director. Nothing, no stand up comedy, no hosting of a sort of a standard
mm,
gig would prepare you for all these things. Not everyone can read a teleprompter. I've learned that I can read a teleprompter and I don't. Apparently, it's a skill. So that's
mm,
one of those
okay.
things that some people are like, I can't read that. The words are moving. I can't, I go like this with my head. Some people just have that, or they don't, this is not something you can develop. You just have it. So just things sort of came together in a way where it kind of worked. But on paper, it's a bit crazy. Nothing can really prepare you for it. You just, in the doing of it, it gets a little bit easier and easier. In the world of franchises, of a friend who owns a few franchise restaurants. So, for example, a Tim Hortons or a Wendy's or something. I think the number, it's either 13 or 14. Once you have 13 franchise locations of the same restaurant, you've seen everything. You've seen burglaries, you've seen fire and flooding in your restaurant, employee theft, blah, blah. I get the feeling that as you go on in the Canada Reads world, you've seen it all. You've seen people who are like, who knows if this panelist will come back tomorrow? They were so offended. Who knows if this panelist is going to bring in props? Who knows if this person will cry or say something offensive? But just all the various iterations of what can happen. I'm not going to say they've all happened, but maybe I've just seen more and more stuff, and you just get more and more comfortable in dealing with sort of everything that could go wrong. I shouldn't say that. I should really knock on wood as I say that, because we haven't had a full blackout. We have this script prepared. Like, hey, we're having technical problems. Canada Reads was supposed to be happening right now, but instead we'll bring you this version from 2 years ago. I record that just in case. The 1 year I don't record it is the year it's going to happen, but we always record this like backup thing. Yeah, I think you just get more comfortable over time, and there's nothing that really prepares you for it. But certainly, as a stand-up comic, as somebody who does a lot of hosting, I do feel comfortable with the discussions we're having at the table, and I feel like, oh, if this gets too heated, I know who to go to, I know how to bring this down, I know how to stay in a little bit of tension, and And I think that comes over with time and experience too.
Okay, Tara, I'm going to have you ask the last question because my landscapers are now in the front of my house with the leaf blowers and it's really loud. So I'm going to let you ask the last. I'm going to mute myself now, but
I can't
thank you,
hear it.
Allie.
Just FYI,
Yeah.
it's not coming through
You
with
can't?
us. No.
Okay. All right. Well, then I'll continue then. Yeah. If you do
Yeah.
hear it, just
Go
like,
for it.
okay. Now, my last question is Steve Dangle, which I don't know where he got that name, so I'll have to look that up later. I guess I don't know. But anyway, Steve Dangle, Glenn, and Josh Dela Cruz both said it's different this time was their first romance. And first I wanted to know, and I love that they talked about they really enjoyed it. They read a romance and they enjoyed it. So first, are you a sort of genre romance reader? If so, is there one you would recommend for Canada Reads that could go the distance? And if not, is this a genre you might continue to read in the future?
Me personally,
Yeah.
Mhm.
I would not call myself a romance reader, but when somebody suggests it and I watch it, I often enjoy it. Right, so it's the same thing with romance on television. I'll let my wife watch 20 and then she'll recommend two. She's like, I'm going to save you the time. Some of that was nonsense. I don't mind it. I feel like that's good for me. I like it. Christmas movies are the same. She starts December 1st with the Christmas movies. By the 24th, she's like, I have two for you that you might enjoy. Okay, great. Thank you. And that's how I feel about romance novels. It is a massive industry. It is the top grossing sales genre in publishing.
Mhm.
We would be remiss as a show to not reflect that on the show. I'm not saying that romance will be there every year, but it should be represented at the table at least every few years. It is a valid genre, and I also like it being there because it gives rise to these somewhat contentious conversations about what is real literature, right? And then you have this sort of a little snobbery about it. That's not real literature. And then I like those conversations. Like, who's to say? Who's to say who would read this? Who would read? Why shouldn't people be allowed to read this? I still come from the school of thought that any reading is good reading, and I've been challenged on that. Sometimes I'll see my kid reading, and I'll be like, "I'm glad you're reading," and then they're reading some like biography from a 19-year-old YouTuber. I'm like, that's not, this person has zero lived experience. Okay, fine. You're reading. You're reading. I have to reiterate to them, no, no, they're reading. It's fine. At least they're reading. But yes, I think romance, if not every year, should be there. I don't have any titles to recommend in that world. That's not really the genre that I read very often. But I can see why people do. I don't begrudge anybody for reading any genre, and I don't begrudge anyone for reading for escapism.
Mhm.
I can't. Somebody who, we went on a trip to Mexico a few weeks ago. I shut out everything, and I've never done this in my life. I mean, I just shut out the world. It could have been World War III happening. I would not have known. To the point where, we were in this hotel lobby bar one night. We're watching Mexico versus Belgium. The guys beside me are like sharing their beers. I'm like, no, no, would you like a Modelo here? Hey, would your wife like this? We don't speak the same language, having a great time bonding over soccer. Obviously, I have to, cheer for Mexico. If I was a Belgian fan, it might have gone differently, but we have a great time. The next morning, now it's been 4 days that we were in Mexico. The next morning, I come down to that same lobby bar, the scene of where such fun was had the night before, and the soccer is replaced by CNN, and the headline is, Israel bombs southern Lebanon, and I immediately felt this visceral. I was like, I was like, "Can you change the TV to, to one of the staff there?" And she's like, "To what, like sports?" I was like, "Absolutely, anything, anything." I mean, once you, I had this interesting vantage point I've never had. I completely removed everything that even a glimpse of CNN made me feel something very, like a real disturbance inside me. And I just realized that on a daily basis, we are injecting a form of poison into our minds all the time. And of course, we've spoken about this on the show. I think Donald Trump has a lot to do with that. This is how he operates as far as TV and staying in the news and just bombarding you, making things about him. Uh, but it's just become this phenomenon on television, and it's inescapable. And I got to escape from it, and I realized how great that escape is. So I'll never begrudge somebody who reads something and says, all I want to do is escape. I don't care who this author is. I don't care what their background is. I don't care if I didn't learn anything from this. I don't care. So I don't begrudge anybody for that. If you're reading for pleasure, who's to say what gives you pleasure?
Yeah,
And
I
Allie,
agree. Oh, go
no,
ahead,
go
Tara.
ahead, Rebecca. Oh,
All right, but make sure you follow back. I will just say that I obviously feel that very strongly here with everything, and I've started reading kids and YA books again because I just need to not have anything in it sometimes where I have to think about what's going on because it's like you said, it's completely in our faces 24/7. So
Mhm.
it's everything in the world that's wrong. Yeah, I
Yeah,
totally
and
agree
you
on
have
that.
to take care of yourself, whatever that means. Some people are able to
mm,
stay in it and fight the good fight, and they almost, I include my father-in-law in that. I mean, CNN is always on, 9 on 10 volume. We're at the kitchen table talking, but it's still there, 20 feet away, 9 on 10 volume. He just likes it's like it gives him some comfort. But
mm.
many of us, whatever ways you can find to sort of protect yourself mentally, uh, I mean, yeah, go for it. Find ways to, they say when you're a parent, they say, you have to fill your own cup first before you can fill other people's cups. I think that's the way I look at it too. What good are you to anybody if you're so sort of tormented or broken down by everything that's going. So if that means taking some time off and shutting it out, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a genre that you would like to see on Canada Reads that hasn't yet been represented?
Another massive genre is sci-fi. Science fiction
Hmm.
is huge numbers. It does. People love it. It's been a while since it's been on, and again, it's not a genre that I read regularly, but I was hosting this show called The Next Chapter. I was the guest host for a season, and I was reading a book a week, and I really enjoyed the sci-fi. I mean, I enjoy it on television. I never think to read it, but anytime it was a sci-fi author, I found it so interesting. And some of these authors are such brilliant people, and you go, "Wow, I can't believe that lives in your mind." I think the challenge is this the book all of Canada should read right now? I'm not sure if people, but hopefully, I'd like to see that. I'd like to see somebody make a case for a book that, you know, is. I also really like. This is the opposite of protecting your mind. I love dystopian books. I don't know why. I shouldn't,
Yeah.
Wow.
but these dystopian futures. We've had a fair amount of them, and one of them I talked before the book American War haunted my dreams. I mean, I should not have been reading that at night. I would wake up having had the most bizarre, disturbing dreams, but I still love the experience. To me, that's also a sign that this book is having an incredible impact on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'd be interested to see if somebody can make a case for sci-fi in particular
Hmm.
to uh, to be the book that everyone should read.
Okay.
Me too.
So
Maybe
now I have
next
a
year.
question. Yeah, well, I have a question. I'm gonna throw this at you, and if you can't answer it, that's fine. But we all would love to see an all-star
Mm.
panel come back. And I
Yeah.
really want Mark Tewksbury to come back. Is there anybody who has been on the panel that you would really like to see? Because I thought Mark in his binder and being really organized and everything, I thought that was just so much fun. Is there anybody you
Yeah.
would have back if we had an all-star season?
Yeah, if anyone doesn't remember Mark Tewksbury, I mean, the most hyper organized person we've ever seen. It was an incredible binder. It was something to behold. It should be in the
Mhm.
Smithsonian, the bind, it was
Yep.
really great. But I would say, and this isn't just because I have such a bad memory for previous years, but I would say that Tegan Quinn from this year is an all star. I would, so prepared, so prepared, like hyper prepared to the point where she was offering up subjects of debate for the others. Hey, maybe you can debate me about this because she just had so much. She was so ready. She was even keeled as far as her temperament goes. She was good humored, very eloquent when she spoke, able to put things in, like, not just my book, but just also, I would like to ask you about why you thought this about your book, and genuinely
Yeah.
asking those questions, and then probably prepared with seven different responses. If they go here, I'll say this. If they go here, say, I mean, really, really a formidable force at the table. Of course, it helped that the book that she was championing was so well liked by everybody. It had something that everybody liked at the table. So that she
Yeah.
took a book that people liked already and then forced them to love it and concede that this is the book. But yeah, I think she's a formidable talent in a debate. And if there's an all stars, there's a good case to be made that she should be at that table.
Awesome. I love that. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Tomo Pinnekit, who
Oh,
represented
yeah.
American War, I thought was also very, very good. I remember he's a martial artist as well, and he would just go read the book and then like work out, and then read and work out. Like kicks, punches, punches, kicks, back to the work. But I was like, this is a hell of a way to train, but that's what he was doing. He was like physically training and mentally preparing and physically, and it felt like it. And I remember one of the
Yeah.
panelists was like, yeah, it's American War. This is Canada Read, so I'm not going to vote for it. And I was like, I can't believe you would dismiss all the preparation and all the work that went into this book by just saying that one simple line. But, some people are not going to be convinced, right? Some people
Yeah.
come in open at the table. They're like, okay, I'm ready to be swayed. I'm a free agent. Convince me. And other people are like, no, this is
Yeah.
not what.
That was the first year that I watched Canada Reads. I think that was the year of Tamo Pennicut. I think that was the first year I watched it. And I didn't know what it was, and I just started watching it. And yeah, he was really impressive too. So he would be also on my list along with
Mm-hmm.
Mark. Yep. It's a good one.
That'd be hard to
Hallie, can I
narrow down, actually.
can I ask you for like a little behind the scenes question? I don't know if you'll know the answer.
Hmm.
But Tegan several times in interviews mentioned how many books she read in order to get to The Cure for Drowning, even though I think it was her first book. Do you know how much time the defenders have between being asked to be a defender and the time that they have to give CBC their book title?
I don't, but I also know that it's different for everybody.
Okay.
Some people are quite busy, and so you're going through their agent. You're not talking to them directly, and then the agents take time. And sometimes it's like the agent's like, "Wait a minute, it's a debate show, and you're making no money. What is this? Like you're making no money. I'm making no money." So they probably drag their feet a little bit. So finally, somebody agrees. Okay, we got them, but you already had the other four panelists. So during that time, those four panelists have been reading books.
Okay.
Have been Some of them come with a book already. They're like, I know exactly what I'm going to champion. So for everyone, it's different. It's always a different situation. Some people know what they're going to champion. Some people have no clue. The Canada Reads team helps them by saying, what do you like to read? What kind of authors? What kind of genres? Oh, that? Okay. Well, here are three books we could recommend. If this doesn't work, we've got many more we can recommend, right? It's a team of people, like a dozen people who read for a living. That's all they do. So they're ready to help anybody choose it. And yeah, I think it really depends on so many different factors, but not everybody is booked at the same time, and yeah, it gets a little
It's
tricky.
funny. It's funny you mentioned that they don't get paid because so earlier this week during the competition, I had a friend who hasn't watched it, but she was keeping track of it because I took time off work in order to like immerse myself in it this
Yeah,
year. And so she would text me, I think it was on day after day two. She was like, "So what does the winner get? Like what's the prize?" And I'm like, "Oh, I'm like there's no prize. I'm like you get the satisfaction of winning." And I'm like, all the books win because they're there. But I'm like, yeah, I'm like, the person gets nothing themselves. I'm like, I didn't even think of it before at that
yeah.
point. I'm like, there's no prize. I'm like, I don't think they get any. I don't, maybe a per diem for lunch. I'm like, I
Per
have
diem
no
for
idea
lunch.
what they get.
That's I
Yeah.
think where it tops out. Yeah, I don't think they have to pay anything out of pocket. if they have to fly the person in from somewhere, that flight and the hotel and the rest is taken care of, but they make no money. Yeah,
Yeah.
don't get it. Yeah. The idea is that, and I think that's the way to do it too if you want passionate readers.
Yeah.
If you're a passionate reader, this is what this is. Would you take a week out of your already hopefully successful life where you do whatever you do and you make money? This is a non-money making, this is a passion project. Are you interested?
Yeah.
No.
I am, by the way. I am,
Yeah.
by the way. If you
Good to know. Good to know.
Okay, I think we're going to let Ali
Yeah.
go because you have a busy schedule because it's the day after the
It's
final
the day
day. So,
after, so all the things I said no to for the last, let's say, 7 days are all scheduled for today.
yeah,
I'm very happy that we could squeeze this in, though. I am very happy, and I
us
always
too.
enjoy talking to you. And
Thank you. We do appreciate
yeah,
it so much.
yeah,
Yeah. Thank you,
wonderful.
Ali. Until
Okay,
next
thanks
year.
to you. Until next year.